Not enthused about this. I want to make a video about Satan again. I have a few videos already on Satanism and stuff. Minor Character, the Extended Wisdom Literature of the Apocryphy or something. And the problem is that, and there's a lot of this going on in my country. People from Florida have come to my country and educated people from Ireland about this silly stuff, like they did in Liberia, and it's looking very African, worse. So there's a bit of Ireland. Actually, yeah, I suppose it is on topic, so we'll keep on topic. And Connor McGreggor, who I think will be a great president. Very much so. And he's not politically invalid either. You know, he knows what democracy means. Most people in Ireland or even America don't even know what democracy even is. And that's why they think he's a dangerous thing, because he's democratic and he's for the people. And they're afraid of the people, really, in Ireland. There's a good reason to be. We have one news channel in Ireland, and it's tax-paid, but it's not citizen-run. It's government-run. It's very Republican Ireland. There's a Republic of Ireland, but it is a democratic republic. But it's airtight. We have like one channel. And when they get in trouble with the government, it's never on TV. They've got every right to blemish you and put you in a local gossip rag if you're seen in court. But their scandals and their disgraces. Anyway, and actually on that point of gentrification, see, it's a weird thing. I'm comparing to like other people who are president. Higgins might have been born in Ireland, but he was completely raised in Florida. If he wasn't born in Florida and educated in Florida, which is even worse. Now, if he was born in Florida and educated in Ireland, it wouldn't be that bad. He'd be Irish, but he's very Floridian, and brought all his buddies from Florida over in this very extensive period of his presidency, and we've been gentrified the crap out of people in Ireland, if you know what that means. It's a word you want to be familiar with. When wealthy people come and take over your country and do it with a fountain pen, and they like buy Central Bank and turn it into their own little, exactly, they bought Central Bank and they put a few stories up on top of it, and they bought Dublin and they start refurbishing Dublin, and to be pushed out. You can't rent now if you're Irish. They have their own American police forces and everything. They have divided the Gardaí. They've divided Dublin Bus. They've everything. They're all over the place. Gentrification from Higgins, who supposed to be some sort of tough, and patriotic. And Conor McGregor is tough fighting and patriotic, even not more so because he's just a sham. Higgins is, and he's done something now. He's sold all your natural resources in the Midlands or something because he's got into trouble. And he's just signed everything over now, and all our natural resources or something have been signed over. Didn't know he got the power to do that kind of thing. So just before he left, like, he's cleaned up. Get all these hilarious Google ads of Higgins just throwing money around, like throwing money in the air, and like he's questionably very rich. They're all scum wealthy. And this is Republic, they're all supposed to be on school teachers' wages. And I know why they're rich, and it ain't selling dairy gold on like abroad. So, genuinely patriotic and caring about Ireland. Already friends with Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. Yeah, that's fucking what you want. International relations. Notice nobody from Ireland or the Senate of Ireland or the government got invited over to meet Trump yet. Or they might have had a delegate or something. Connor's on TV. And you notice everybody, Simon Harris and all, were fuming so bad. So much to the point that they offended Connor and called him a criminal, which offended the White House. It's like, if they want to have criminals over and sex offenders, well, you let them have criminals and sex offenders. And it's like, you just burnt the White House, genius. Saying they host sex offenders and criminals. And he spoke very well and patriotically and very heartful. I think it's lovely, Connor, tough man, but so heartful. Like, honestly. Like, he's so passionate, he trips up over himself, but when he does actually get to send the words out, it's, I'm very critical about, literature, people being moronic, or, Mary Lucifer McDonald, she's one of these gentrifiers. See, Sinn Féin are completely under the thumb of this gentrification from Florida, so that's why you've seen, under Higgins, Sinn Féin becoming very influential and powerful, and Mary Lou McDonald is even TD of Dublin City Centre of some sort, and Dublin City Centre is like a crime-ridden crackland now with like loads of guns, and people still support Sinn Féin. I don't even think Mary Lou can run for the presidency of Ireland because she's from a different country. Yes, she's from Northern Ireland. I'm pretty certain. I don't look at her Wikipedia, but they won't expect me, Jerry, How do you move up in Sinn Féin IRA? Don't expect me, Jerry. And when she's getting caught, like, kids and will you, Willa. It's not on the news. And Higgins and all were there up on Pearse Street. And they blamed it on some Algerian guy from a knife attack the week earlier in the same area. And that wasn't on TV. And that's when Dublin rioted, finally. And they were killing kids. And this knife, and it was all blurred. And it's all silenced. Utterly vacuumed on media. I'm utterly vacuumed as well, yes. So, yeah, I'm criminally insane on paper, so I can't even get a job. I can't get work in Ireland. They have me as batshit insane. Don't listen to him. I wasn't making a statement. What did I make the statement? It's a funny story. I'm kind of writing it on a Sunday. It's a true story. So, yeah, she's from a different country, Mary Lou. And it's just hilarious to see her running all these marches against immigration. And it's like, you're from a different country. You're an immigrant, genius. And she's leading the marches against immigration. And I was like, I think we really ought to have, like, in Sinn Féin, foreign party. When you're doing Irish elections, or Republic of Ireland Irish elections. Foreign party. Foreigners. Immigrant party. They have parties all over. And they're not genuine about any of their parties. And that's just the bad side of democracy is popularism, and that's why they're afraid that Connor is just a popularist. And he's not. He's a caring Irish patriot, and again, knows Vladimir Putin personally and Donald Trump. Do you know anyone else in Ireland who's shaking Donald Trump's hand on Vladimir Putin? He could stop wars. Oh, they kind of talk together, but he's a common ally, a common friend. That's a big thing. Big thing. And he is very politically validated. I can't even say it. Or South in Sinn Féin, or probably Mary Lou McDonald even is. She won't care for your country. They're saying it for the. Anyway, falling out of her helicopter with this big gold chain on, with some Prada perfume, with her 2 hours of Fabio, stumbling into the fucking doll out of her head on coke, saying that trans men need abortion rights. I don't know what to. Psychopaths. For even entertaining the crap. Probably handy to have the opposition as really politically invalid people. It's probably really clever to have Sinn Féin as the opposition, because they can't even oppose with validity. Not all their token queers and token travellers. Where's it gone? Yeah, Connor. I think I had a lot more to say on this fucking matter. I don't even know if he's able to run for it. I'm still worried about democratic popularism. The only thing I was worried about Connor getting elected is he might put a fight school in every town in Ireland, and no, they're already fighting enough out there. The last thing we need is more fight clubs, athletics clubs, or you can teach some judo or different martial arts, but just not like fucking kickboxing and street fighting or boxing clubs. They're all bored. There's an insane amount of boredom in this country. Insane. There's nothing to do except drink at home, because you can't afford the pub. That's pretty rotten, that stuff. I'm going to have to get through it. It's not like the Beefeater blood orange, it's a different blood orange. Tricking myself into thinking I'm doing something healthy by having the blood orange one. The Beefeater one tastes like those Halib orange calcium pills you get when you're a kid. Down in loads, but it's like, this is so healthy. Loves me Beefeater. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Yeah. And hopefully there might be like foreign influence of Trump or something and get Connor in. And you know, sex offender and criminal. Donald Trump wants to hang out with these people. Like Donald Trump can. Okay, let Donald Trump hang out with those kind of people. Make him president. Yeah. He cares. Like, he just genuinely cares. And even you saying, like, Elon Musk was like, if you need financial support, and he's like, not about the money, couldn't care. Do you think any other politician would turn down financial support from Elon Musk if offered? They would be greasing as well. They would be spending your tax money to buy him presents. And Connor's like, no, not about the money. No. I'm in for certain reasons in Ireland. The immigration thing is more to do about rich people coming over and gentrifying the country through Higgins. And Swiss and Dutch people. It really is nothing. And we haven't seen the immigration level that Central Europe has seen, because, we're an island. On the other fucking side of Europe. That's probably why the Brits love this place. It's funny, all the Brits with their migration protests, and Australia with their migration protests. Kick yourself out. What are they protesting about themselves? Even like Hibernia was Hibernia. It was Winterland. Winterland. There was no evergreen trees here. The Huns brought them, the Roman conquest, and they didn't even find any reason to conquest here for a very long time until they knew that we, with the people, were special. They're harvesting our babies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Florida are doing now. It's a funny thing about Sinn Féin and all, and they're, they're gangsters running around, and everybody's in a gang these days. Matters of loyalism. It's hilarious because all these people criticised people in the past whose families were starving to death and took soup, and jumped the fence. So they were loyalists to like British occupation because Brits would prevent their families from starving to death if they signed up. These people, their families aren't starving to death. They're just offered these positions of privy. Like that's what loyalism is. You're offered positions of privy. And it's looking very much like 1984 now with all this schizo shit that they're bringing over as well. That all the intelligent people are like locked away and called criminally insane and not suitable. And you see like all the guards in 1984, and they're all like drinking and smoking. They're all dipshits. So they have all stupid people learning how to harvest intelligent people, and they'll be very quiet about it for a very long time. This is what happened before the war in Poland, and harvesting the crap out of everybody, spiritually harvesting heart, mind, body, and soul. Turns out very not protected by your local diocese, as I thought to be. And this also touches on the Satan movie I wanted to make, Satanism. Just touching on it now. Make a separate one. Satanism, Satan. The Satan is the highest religious validity on earth, and known very well to God. And people think he's evil dark thing, or this entity. And it is just the highest religious validity on earth, or authority on earth. So Jesus Christ is technically. See, we say in confirmation, it's like you do reject the former Satans and accept Jesus as your new Lord, or like, because Satan's a type of anything superior over as the Lord of this world. And that, like they say in church, like, is it right to praise the Lord of God? Yes, like the answer, yes, it is right to praise the Lord. And then they say like things, they ask it like with smoky questions in the Vatican and all this, Ouija boards or something. Is it right to praise Satan? It's like, not wrong to praise Satan. Satan is a messenger. So God called all his crew together in heaven. Everybody he knew, called them all together, and the Satan was one of them. So he's an associate of God, and he's this messenger. He's like, where have you been? Like, around hanging around the Earth, planet Earth. And he's like, what's it like? And he's like, it's up and down, and then it's back down, and then it's up and down, and blah blah blah. And we're not really going anywhere spinning. And he's like, have you seen Job? I know, he's a very upstanding man. Job's some awesome fucking great-granddad. Built a farm, massive big legacy farm, like huge family, successful farm, most noble, righteous, upwise, learned. Only problem is he was born somewhere, period, after the flood, and has no idea of religion or God whatsoever. No concept of... He's never really, like, so one of the theories of like the genesis of the concept of God is when you're suffering, you kind of reach out towards something that could help you. So Job was on top of it all, and Job, massively successful dude. God liked him loads, thought he was a great, great, great human being, but still had no idea about God. And he kind of said, I wouldn't mind, like, just if you like knew that. Because Job was probably starting to do some weird things like praise birds or praise pantheistic kind of things in life, and he probably was putting his praise in the wrong places, and it troubles me to see him praising trees or praising the sky, like, or something weirder. I wouldn't really appreciate if he went down there, Satan, and kind of told him about me and said I love him so much and I think he's awesome. So Satan's like, yeah, sure, no bother. Satan flies down, and messenger sent, and like, hello, Job. Nice to meet you. Awesome, righteous Job. Yes, I've come with treaties from above and heavens. And then Job rejects this. He's like, no, I'm an independent man. And he's like, oh no, I really would appreciate it if you but love the Holy Father who loves you. He's like, nah, I've had gypsies coming through here before, eyeing up my farm, trying to make me bow down to somebody else. Not in the mood to bowing down to you or your weird foreign kind of God or something. And it starts to kind of become a bit of a trouble. Satan kind of gets a bit annoyed. He's like, I'm here on an errand. You're kind of peeing me off now. I'm definitely not going to go back home and say this stuff that you're saying. That'll be problematic. So he hangs out and until Job learns to love and accept and appreciate God. And in the meantime, the Satan gets very impatient with this rejection and the things that Job starts saying. And because of the situation, Job starts getting inflicted. The more things he says bad about God, he starts getting afflicted with plagues and disease and woe and misery and all this. And then it kind of looks like, well, what kind of God is this anyway that's bringing it? And then there's this massive big court scene where God actually, because God just wanted, like, Job to like him and be involved in his communion or love with him. And ironically turned around to be starting completely rejecting every sort of notion of God. So in the end, it was really heartbreaking, and being the best person on earth or something like this, and being then utterly rejecting, which was antithetical to what God actually kind of wanted. Anyway, the Satanist puts the reality of God into you one way or the other. Either you accept it on presentation, which most people don't really. Well, some people like Pascal couldn't care. Like, yeah, sure, it's better off to fucking not. We could piss God off by just rejecting it. May as well keep an open mind there. Or he put the fear of God into you, or the fear of loss of God into you. So the more Job started rejecting God, then his crops turned to crap, and his family got disease, and his friends turned against him, and all this crap started happening to Job, which kind of happened to me. I never rejected God, but I still have a lot of people out there chanting Satan all day, every day, because I'm like a heavy Christian. I think it's a little sodomistic tool that the IRA and people are using these days just to screw people. You say Satan loads and think about a person, he drives them insane. Awesome, thanks so much. Then you go start a school and teach with Vandenberg about all your freaking gypsy Satanism. So that's the story of Job anyway. The book of Job contains the strongest arguments for and against God. So even if you're an atheist and you hate the Bible and all that, it's got better arguments against religion in the Bible than you could probably ever come up with yourself. It's always very backed up. So yeah, that's an excursion. Anyway, Ireland are doing a lot of this weird, like when coronavirus hit Ireland, everyone was running around spitting and sneezing in each other's faces. So when something like satanic gypsy magic hits Ireland, they're just gonna be like running around spitting in each other's faces. I do really think that when telephones first came to Ireland, telephones it was in like one telephone in the town back then, when everybody had telephones and before caller ID. Oh man, the probably Irish were just sitting around, just ringing each other up random numbers. Ha, you big prick. Hanging up all day, just sitting there ringing up 28429420. You big bald prick. Hanging up all day. They'd never get tired of it. So imagine like if some freaking anyway, I was gonna say, they're not the most mature people to be dealing with, like high and holy temples of Israel. You big fucking prick, you. Yeah. And they're all up about it. Our heritage town. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully Connor gets elected by Putin and Trump. The Irish cabinet have probably offended Putin loads, and have probably offended Trump loads. So it wouldn't hurt you to have somebody that they can tolerate. The president is supposed to be a somewhat novel and novelty and represent like Diana was going for the fucking president, a novel representation of the people and a voice for the people, who truly cares about things like your natural resources and won't sell them to Miami. Although he's kind of friendly with America, like I was just worried about that he's too friendly, that he might be coerced into making some friendly efforts, which is what Higgins and probably ever does, making efforts more so for their foreign friends in foreign places than the people of Ireland itself. So I think he would put the people of Ireland always first. He didn't even want to cash out Elon Musk. Who says that in the right mind? I'm like, yeah, Elon, fucking shine your shoes, man. Elon Musk offers you financial support, and you're like, no, man, no, I'm here for the people of Ireland. Yeah, they bought me, or sold me, or you got me sold. Come on. He's a novel representative, and already he cares enough. I don't know, and he's not politically influenced. He knows what the basic terms are in democracy and stuff. I don't hear any validity in Sinn Féin half the time when they're talking in the Dáil. they've absolutely no idea. That's why I think it's really useful to keep Fianna Fáil or whoever is in power, keep them as the opposition, because there won't be any valid opposition. You just get away with fucking anything. They don't know how to be on their toes. Yeah, what I was saying, yeah, I don't know. This is a bit long, is it? 20 minutes. I think I had other things to say. I can't remember. Yeah, I hope he's going for. I hope he got in. And there's nothing wrong with. Well, there is nothing wrong with some democratic popularity sometimes, but it's not democratic popularity. It's for Ireland. Ireland. I was thinking about that, Ireland. People from that not from Ireland can't say it. They say Ireland. Oh, I was over in Ireland. Ireland. I'm fairly certain it's like when the Brits came over here with their names and their books and their plant pots and stuff, that they asked us, "Oh, what do you call this land?" And it's like, "What?" Like, our land. Just to get that straight, it's our fucking land. And it's like, right, so it's our land. And it's just kind of Ireland. That's how you say it, like Ireland, our land. Ireland. Ireland. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so yeah, with Connor for Ireland, yeah. And yeah, just don't put 5 boxing schools in every town. Athletics and judo, maybe. Or some Olympic sport, whatever they do. Yeah. 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 No, all over the world. I lost things to say. More things to say, I can't remember. I was watching Dave's this massive freaking chin. Like, his chin, man, could beat you up. He just the way he stood, and I don't know, great shit on the camera, but he just up at the camera, and it's just, oh, it just fucking made me feel like I was this big. It made me feel tiny, just his chin. Fucking not getting a bit personal now about his physical appearance, but those are fucking fighter's ears. Have you seen his fucking ears, man? There's nothing left. Worn away from boxing. Fuck me. I want to be in his corner. Anyway, vote Connor. Vote. Alright, when you get it going, Connor gives a job. It's my orrery, they're all coveting. Yes, the power lies with Frodo still. You notice Frodo's constantly giving it away in the movie. He's like, oh, just take it away, just take it away, just take it away, take it away. And nobody could bear it except him. I was like, bollocks. Yeah, vote Connor, and Connor gives a job. Yo. I'm not criminally insane as they have it on paper, or completely psychotic. They have me on paper that I'm completely psychotic and criminally dangerous. Just so, because I'm fucking politically very valid, if I can finally end up saying it properly. And probably more of a threat and fucking nuisance to the Irish government than nothing. Alright, yo,